Are we under Canadian law or Sharia law, officer? Okay, you see this puppy? My grandfather served more than 5 years of his life in the Second World War fighting the Nazis. And if you think I'm gonna bend the knee to the Islamo-Nazis, you've got another thing coming. No, I haven't. Take off your mask, you coward. No. What crime am I committing? No, come on. Enforce the law. Obey your oath, officer. Obey your oath. Yeah. You're enforcing Sharia law? What am I doing here? Huh? Hey. Goodbye.
Everybody back to your protest.
I do not recognize my country anymore. And all I can say is, well, last week we had regime change in the United States. Can't wait for Canada to follow suit. Things are just out of control. It is despicable and deplorable. Hello, Lincoln. Well, that was very interesting. It was almost like a Three Stooges episode. I was handcuffed behind my back, which was extremely uncomfortable, and I asked the officers, you know, I'm not a threat to you, can you put the cuffs on front? And they tried to, and they couldn't. They said at the station it would be better. My shoulder was on fire because it was so tightly cuffed. To make a long story short, the police had to call the fire department, and it was a real rigmarole. They had to get a diamond drill to literally drill through. I mean, they were able to use a bolt cutter to cut the chain, but the actual cuffs had to be drilled through. It was a procedure where they put plastic around my skin so I don't go on fire, I suppose. And my thanks to the Toronto Fire Department. And I hope I wasn't siphoning off services for houses on fire, cats stuck in trees, and the normal thing they do. I think this was a new experience for us all. The diamond drill, they told me, is usually for taking somebody's wedding ring off. I don't have that worry because my wedding ring was stolen because I left it in my car, which was stolen. Anyway, it's quite remarkable that the way this happened, folks, is that my cameraman Lincoln J and I, who graciously spent a couple of hours waiting for me and is filming this right now, we were filming this most recent protest. It was the pro-Hamas people clearly wearing trouble on their shirts. For the last 4 weeks, they've come to an area of Toronto that for more than a year now, it's the site of, I don't know if you want to call it a demonstration, a protest, maybe a vigil is the best word, where the message is, bring home the hostages. And there are literally thousands and thousands of intersections in which the pro-Hamas people can do their de rigueur genocidal chants. But no, it has to be Bathurst and Shepherd, right in the heart of the Jewish community. They want something to happen. Thankfully, the peaceful protesters on the other side don't take the bait.
No.
What do you mean?
Out of it.
Shut up.
Out of it.
This isn't your property.
Out of it.
This isn't your property.
Sir,
I want to. Hey, don't touch me.
Don't
touch me.
You're coming to me.
Huh? No, I'm not. Stop it. Get that.
Go back to the other side.
What?
Go back to the other side.
Why? This is a public street. This is a public street, and I have every right to be here, officer.
Well, it's obvious.
Officer?
Are they allowed to hit you?
Are they allowed to assault us?
They've asked you to leave.
Who's asking me to leave?
They've asked you to leave.
They're asking?
Can you get this out of my face?
Huh?
Can you get this out of my face?
So what? Are we under Canadian law or Sharia law? Yeah.
You don't know Sharia law, bro. You don't even know Canadian law.
AK-47 earrings.
Are we under Canadian law or Sharia law, officer? Okay, you see this puppy? My grandfather served more than 5 years of his life in the Second World War fighting the Nazis. And if you think I'm going to bend the knee to the Islamo-Nazis, you've got another thing coming. No, I haven't. Take off your mask, you coward.
Right now. You're doing it right now.
Take off your mask.
Why are you shaking it?
Anyways, this is a public street.
Make it easy for everyone.
I'm practicing journalism and I'm not going. Look at this appropriation. Remember this November 11th. They gave their lives so that no one would have to endure a Holocaust ever again, and the Palestinian Holocaust. It's just absolutely astonishing because these people are having their own Remembrance Day ceremony. They're having their own Remembrance Day ceremony on November 26th, and in which they're honoring terrorists. It's incredible. So, can you just get out of my space, please? If you don't want to talk to us, just walk away, okay?
You walking away. I am this my.
All right, we'll walk away. Fair enough. Let's go.
The point of contention when we went across the street to the pro-Hamas side, I wanted to speak to, I can't remember the name, folks, forgive me, but it's a cult of specific Orthodox Jews, I guess, who do not recognize the state of Israel. They are reviled by other Jews, by normal Israelis. They deny the existence of Israel while they siphon all the benefits from Israel. And these useful idiots were there. And when we approached them, and I wanted to get their side of the story, like why, why are you like so many chickens in support of Colonel Saunders standing with the pro-Hamas people? And the pro-Hamas people erupted. It was like Mama Bear protecting her cubs. And that's when the police said to me, essentially, I'm paraphrasing, but they don't want you here. You're upsetting them, etc., etc. And I said to the officer, I'm trying to remember my words, but I said, you see this little flower, the poppy? My grandfather spent more than 5 years of his life in terms of fighting the Nazis in the Second World War. And I'm going to be damned if I'm going to bend the knee to the Islamo-Nazis.
What's wrong with you guys? We told you. Who are you guys? What do you mean, you guys? See this? Yeah. My grandfather spent 5 years of his life fighting the Nazis. You think I'm going to bend the knee to the Islamo-Nazis? No. What crime am I committing? No. Come on. Enforce the law. Obey your oath, officer. Obey your oath. Yeah, let's go. You're enforcing the law? What am I doing here? Huh? Hey! Goodbye!
Back to your protest. Everybody back to your protest.
Back, please. Back, please.
Go. You're
Fatal Fury in a police investigation.
So he walked over into the group, he was stirring them up, so he was going to
Back it up. I'm not going to keep telling you.
Yeah, but I'm away, man. I'm not close to it.
You're over there.
They're the same distance as me. You know I'm not going to do anything. I'm just filming. Come on.
Folks, this is Sharia law, like you're seeing, on the eve of Remembrance Day. These officers are disobeying their oath. They are assaulting me. They are bending the knee to the Islamo-Nazis. My grandfather went to war for more than 5 years fighting the real Nazis. Thank you. I'm kind of glad he's not around now to see these so-called police officers. Oh, he's taking my wallet now. Bending the knee to Islamo-Nazis. Unbelievable. This is Justin Trudeau's Canada. Did Don Cherry warn us about this 5 years ago? You know, we back the rule, and you guys are acting shamefully. I'm practicing journalism. My cameraman and I are getting assaulted, and we're under arrest.
Originally, I thought it was simply being frog marched off the corner. That would be the east side of Bathurst Street. But no, then it turned out I was actually being arrested, breach of peace or some such thing as that. And here I was held till the protest was over, which is now evidently I'm now not a danger to society and I can go back to my vehicle. I wish I was making this up, folks, but I'm not. And I really don't recognize my city anymore, my country. In a way, I'm thankful. My grandfather was a father to me. My grandparents raised me. I'm kind of glad that, sorry, this is unprofessional, but I'm kind of glad he's long since been dead, that he doesn't have to see what has happened here. How he put his life on the line and saw his brothers die in battle fighting the Nazis, only to have a new breed of Nazis that get police protection, that get Timbits and coffee delivered to them on cold days. And I don't know what can be done. I spoke to our lawyer, and maybe it's a civil suit. I feel as though I have a target on my back. I am simply practicing journalism. I was not on private property. And I think if a bunch of Islamo-Nazis have a problem with me, that's their problem. And if it's an unsafe situation I'm causing, well, the police, they have guns, they have tasers, enforce the law. And it's only going to get worse, folks, because if you can imagine, on Tuesday, November the 24th, I believe, at 6 o'clock at Celebration Square, how's this for a celebration? The pro-Hamas terrorists are going to have a Remembrance Day vigil for all the so-called Palestinian martyrs. That's the Hamas terrorists, including Sinwar, the mastermind that was thankfully taken out several days ago. They are advertising it using the symbolism of the poppy. They are using the phrase, lest we forget, to honor terrorists, not patriots.
Your grandpa was a great man. He fought for the freedoms and rights you hold in your hand. Never take them for granted. Keep your freedom passport close. Remember, son, Grandpa did this for you. Know your rights. Know your freedoms. Get your freedom passport today.
Lincoln immediately reported to our team. I saw it. I've spoken twice to Lady Menzoid, and she's she understands this is the price you pay for being Canada's most independent journalist. And I'm delighted that you're obviously out of custody. As you know, we've retained Leora Shemesh
Yes.
to be your lawyer. And I've spoken to her twice as well. She is furious with the abuse of policing and strongly recommends that we sue them.
Yes.
She saw what happened and shares my sense of outrage, as well as the incompetence of the police. They're bullying by handcuffing you for no reason at all.
Yeah.
And then not being able to get the handcuffs off you, having to call in the fire department. What a clown patrol. So we are 100% in support of you. We'll back you 100% of the way. We'll back you in the court of law. We'll back you in the court of public opinion. And I don't give a damn if every other journalist in the country is working for Trudeau directly or indirectly.
Yeah.
We will remain independent, and we will continue to ask questions of Trudeau and his allies and his street gangs. So I want to tell you, I have the 100% support of Rebel News and all our viewers.
Well, Ezra, as I've always said, I couldn't have a better boss than you. And as I said earlier to Lincoln and Isaac, one of the things I was trying to tell the police, but it fell on deaf ears. Here we are on the eve of Remembrance Day, and my grandfather spent more than 5 years of his life in the Second World War, saw his colleagues die around him, fighting the Nazis. And here we are with the Islamo-Nazis telling the police, oh, we don't like them there, will you remove them? And they're going, yes, boss. There's no goddamn way my grandfather made that sacrifice against Nazi classics so that we have to bend the knee to the New Age Hitler youth movement. Forget it. So I'm kind of a little emotional right now given the time of year, but I want to thank you so much for your pledge to have my back, Ezra.
Well, you're welcome, David. And it's not just me who has your back. It's thousands of Rebel News viewers who are utterly appalled by what they've all seen today. And I'm grateful to you, and I'm grateful to your wife for permitting this stressful, it should not be a hazardous job in Canada to be a journalist. And it shouldn't be, other than the fact that our woke police and politicians are making it that way. So I'm grateful to her for her support of you as well, because it's stressful to be a missus whose husband has been arrested 5 times now in 2025. 2024. And I'll just leave by noting, not a word from any of the so-called freedom of speech groups on the left, not from the Canadian Association of Journalists, not from Canadian Journalists for Free Expression, not from PEN Canada, not from Amnesty International, not from the Canadian Civil Liberties Association. They're all con men. They all claim to support freedom of the press, but only when it's their favorite left-wing reporters.
Right.
And
Ezra, I'm sorry to interrupt you, but we have one of the ringleaders from.
Contact your lawyers again
Yes.
for committing another unnecessary obstruction of police and attacking our people again.
No, you're
unnecessarily.
wrong. I didn't attack anyone.
Yes, you did. You came in and the police told you. You can't
No,
come
I
in.
was trying to talk
You
to
barged
those,
in.
the Jewish demonstrators on your side.
Yeah, but they
sir.
didn't want to talk to
But tell
you.
me,
They don't want
no.
to talk to a racist like you.
Oh,
They don't want to talk to someone who's racist like you.
racist? Why are you
Because we
here?
all know.
Are you turning
We all
yourself
know.
in for chanting genocide?
Well, we don't check genocide.
Oh,
You're
yes,
supposed
you
to commit
do.
genocide.
From
Decide that
the
you
land to
wanted
the
to commit
sea,
genocide. Decide that you
Intifada,
had
go
committed
back to
genocide.
Europe.
Yeah, that's
By the way,
coexistence.
folks, this is one of the
That's coexistence.
ringleaders who has the ear of the cops. Look at that. That's Justin Trudeau's Canada. That's your diversity is our strength. That is the result of 9 years of vandalism to our country. I don't know why he's here. I made the quip that, is he here to turn himself in for chanting genocide? And he said no. So is he here to get, I don't know, another follow-up action against us by the police? Why in the hell is that little junior jihadi here at 32 Division? It's incredible. Again, I do not recognize my country anymore. And all I can say is, well, last week we had regime change in the United States. can't wait for Canada to follow suit. Things are just out of control. It is despicable and deplorable. Thanks for letting me rant. For Rebel News, I'm David the Menzoid Menzies. Folks, I'm so sorry to ask for your generosity again, but I have a target on my back, it would seem, and if you could go to standwithdavid.com, that's standwithdavid.com, we are incurring legal fees, as you can imagine, because every time I practice journalism when it comes to the pro-Hamas set, who apparently have the ear of the police, I get arrested. And I need your support so I can continue practicing journalism. As I said earlier, my grandfather spent more than 5 years of his life fighting the Nazis. I will be damned if I bend the knee to the Islamo-Nazis.